predictable publicity stunts from the Duke and Duchess of Delusion, which threatened to steal the limelight from the official proceedings. Now, no man knows more about all of this than the esteemed royal biographer of both King Charles and Meghan Markle, Tom Bauer, who joins me.
Oh, hold on to your seats, because this is about to get messy. Prince Harry's carefully polished image, the heroic prince who walked away from the cold, heartless palace, is teetering on the edge of total collapse. Why? Because Tom Bauer, the investigative bulldog of royal scandals, is reportedly sitting on a treasure chest of hidden recordings. Yes, you heard me, audio tapes. Tapes that allegedly capture Meghan Markle in moments so raw, so unfiltered, that every picture-perfect narrative she and Harry have force-fed the world could come crashing down in seconds. And buried in these tapes? The most explosive claim yet.
And believe me, I think there's more to come.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think she's the master of the unexpected to deliver, and it's all expected. So I'm sure that when Harry is here, or just before he arrives, something else will come out of California.
Now, you might want to take a deep breath, because here it comes. The whispers that Buckingham Palace once brushed off as cruel internet slander are allegedly connected to Meghan's own words. The rented kids. Yes, that nasty little phrase that has floated around in the dark corners of the internet may not be just gossip anymore. If these tapes go public, Harry's fairy tale life in California could vanish overnight. Not only because of what Meghan supposedly says, but because of what it reveals about Harry himself. The man who swore to protect his family at all costs? He could be exposed as the prince who sat silently while Meghan allegedly negotiated arrangements that would leave the public horrified. Insiders say the publishing world is buzzing like a beehive on fire.
It'll overshadow what the coronation is meant to be about, and not meant to be about her.
And our own Phil Dampier early in the show tonight revealing news that Harry has threatened that if...
According to leaks, these recordings aren't from polished interviews or staged palace photo ops. They're reportedly from off-the-record conversations Meghan had with select Hollywood power players and media insiders. No royal backdrops, no flattering lighting, no fake smiles, just Meghan speaking her truth, or rather, her strategy. We're talking about intimate dinners, whispered phone calls, and secret side chats at glittering industry events. This wasn't Meghan, the actress. This wasn't Meghan, the Duchess. This was Meghan, stripped of the mask, allegedly plotting her moves.
That he didn't want to come. I've always said on the programme I didn't think they would come at all. I didn't think he would come, and I think he's looking for an excuse not to come, because I think quite clearly he has been put back into the guest list area of the Abbey rather than at the front. And I suspect he'll look for an excuse.
And if Bauer really does have these tapes, then someone in Meghan's trusted circle betrayed her. Someone, somewhere, decided the content was just too explosive to bury. In the public eye, Meghan has always been the perfectionist. Every strand of hair calculated, every phrase rehearsed. But in these alleged tapes, that polished image falls away.
So that's our view, but it's not theirs. They need the money, and they need it now more than ever because they've got no other source of income. So I think they're just stuck with the devil now. They're tied to Netflix, they're tied to their book, and all the criticism they're going to take means nothing.
What comes out instead? A Meghan who allegedly speaks like a strategist, blunt and businesslike, dissecting people like pieces on a chessboard. Who can help the Sussexes get better PR? Which Hollywood partnership is worth the effort? And most chillingly, which contacts have already outlived their usefulness? It's not the Meghan of inspirational speeches. It's the Meghan of power moves and cold calculations. And if these tapes are real, they don't just bruise reputations, they burn trust to ashes. For years, critics have accused Meghan of being a manipulator. Well, if these tapes drop, they won't just be accusations. They'll be Exhibit A.
Because that's the only way they can earn their money.
Very interesting, actually. I don't know if you saw this from Tina Brown, who was, of course, one of the last people to see Diana before her death. She said the Duke and the Duchess are...
And here's where it gets really dark. The phrase rented kids. Defenders of Harry and Meghan have always screamed that it was vile conspiracy talk, but the recordings allegedly show Meghan herself using that kind of language. Not literally renting children, but describing appearances with Archie and Lilibet as perfect optics, brand boosters, golden PR props. Imagine the outrage. Picture a mother allegedly speaking about her children like chess pieces on a media board. In the court of public opinion, no one's going to care about the context.
This was at the Henley Literary Festival, and she branded the couple D-list celebrities and said in Montecito their $14 million mansion is a humble cottage compared to what these other people have. And she added, at some point it might be more than a new house she's looking for. Elon Musk is still single. That's all I have to say. So do you agree with Tina Brown that there is...
The second the public believes Meghan and Harry see their own kids as brand assets, the sympathy evaporates. And poor Harry? For years, he's sold himself as the doting dad, the protector of his family. If people start to believe that was all for show, it won't just dent his reputation, it'll destroy it. Reports even suggest that Harry was present during some of these conversations. Maybe in the same room, maybe on speakerphone. Either way, what did he do? Did he object? Did he stop her? Apparently not. Sources say he either chuckled quietly or worse, said nothing at all.
Behind what Meghan does, obviously you've written this book, Revenge, about her so recently, of course.
Well, of course, that has always been her motive. She's money obsessed and always has been. And that is why she married Prince Harry. A great surprise and disappointment was to discover that Prince Harry had very little money. She imagined he'd be worth hundreds of millions, if not billions.
And here's the brutal reality. Silence can scream louder than words. If Harry was there, laughing or shrugging it off, then the world will see him as complicit. And complicity? That's career ending. The entire Harry and Meghan rebrand has been built on the image of Harry as the principled rebel, the man who broke free from the cold, uncaring royal machine to protect his wife and kids. But if he's caught condoning language like rented kids, that image is gone forever.
And she's having to make up for it now. And that's why I think, I think Tina is a great journalist, and perhaps she has inside information. I don't see how the Sussexes can give up both the Netflix and the book deal. They won't be living in a Montecito cottage, be more likely living somewhere in downtown LA, in a little hovel. That's their problem. They're stuck now. But, you know...
And it doesn't just stop at the scandal. Oh no, it could go legal. Think about it. If Meghan and Harry are caught on tape making unguarded comments about contracts, staged appearances, or misleading projects, lawyers could pounce. Suddenly, it's not just about their image. It's about breach of contract, misrepresentation, lawsuits from sponsors, charities, even streaming giants who partnered with them. And Meghan? She might try to brush it off as context or humor. But Harry? Harry has spent years branding himself as the moral compass, the truth teller, the man above spin. He doesn't get that luxury.
The truth is about them that the only way I can conceive of Harry getting out of it now is if Charles would bail him out. Somehow he'd have to pay off Netflix, he'd have to pay off Random House's publishers. It would cost millions of dollars or pounds. But Harry might give that to him in return for...
Think about it. Harry has spent the last 4 years painting himself as the whistleblower, the truth teller, the one exposing the cruelty of others. If these tapes show him sitting silently, or worse, chuckling, while Meghan plotted strategies that used their kids and manipulated narratives, that hypocrisy will be impossible to spin. Overnight, the man who claimed to fight for truth could be branded a fraud. And here's the kicker. Buckingham Palace insiders have always danced around why Meghan and Harry were never fully trusted behind palace walls. Things we cannot say. Situations we had to manage internally. They never spelled it out. But if these alleged tapes are real, suddenly it all makes sense.
Signed agreement never to knock the royal family again. That's the only thing I can imagine would actually end this confrontation. But I can't see Meghan signing that deal. Meghan has got no interest whatsoever in giving way, being silent. She wants the battle. She wants to rubbish the royal family and go on to bigger things. So I think that...
Those recordings would retroactively justify everything the palace did to keep Meghan and Harry at arm's length. Why weren't they trusted with sensitive duties? Why did invitations to royal events feel so conditional? Why were they carefully excluded from key decisions? The palace won't need to defend itself anymore. The tapes, if genuine, will do it for them. And Harry, poor Harry, will be left exposed as the problem all along.
This battle is going to go on. Hostilities have resumed, I think.
And that's the problem, isn't it, Tom? You know, they have signed this deal with the Hollywood devil, in this case, Netflix, and Netflix is now demanding It's Pound of Flesh. They're not happy with this woke children's TV series.
Remember, the Sussexes built their billion-dollar dream on their personal story. Survivors of royal cruelty, champions of mental health, philanthropists changing the world. But a brand is only as strong as public belief. And belief? Oh, it's fragile. Already, Netflix, Spotify, and even charitable organizations have been burned once by the couple's unpredictability. These alleged recordings could push that cautious distance into full retreat. Imagine sponsors running for the hills. Imagine Netflix quietly canceling projects. Imagine charities erasing their names from websites. The collapse wouldn't be slow, it would be instant.
That Meghan wanted to do in some sort of twee documentary that Harry was planning about the Invictus Games. They want the dirt on the royal family, don't they, Tom?
Well, I think they've got the dirt. I mean, they've been filming now for more than a year. And I'm sure that everything that Harry spewed out to the ghostwriter for the book, he gave Netflix to, plus a lot more. And
Picture it. Big players like Penguin Random House, Netflix, or Spotify deciding, nope, too risky. Picture partners pulling out overnight, not even bothering with public statements, just vanishing. For Harry and Meghan, who turned their personal brand into their only business, this would be like oxygen being cut off. And for Harry especially, his emotional currency has always been tied to being seen as a devoted husband and father. That's why people forgave the contradictions, the hypocrisy about privacy, the constant whining. They bought into the idea that at least he was protecting his family. If that shield cracks, he's finished.
so they've got it in the can, so to speak. The only question now is whether they're prepared to dump it. I don't see why they should. I mean, this is their investment, and it'll come brilliantly at the end of The Crown. Netflix is in battle with all the other streaming services. They want to now push their own product. They don't care, rightly so. If
the public believes Harry and Meghan turned their kids into brand props, the fairy tale is over. Overnight, Harry flips from protective dad to cold opportunist. And outrage over children being used this way is universal. Parenting groups, media outlets, even Hollywood allies won't touch them. This isn't bad press, it's reputational Chernobyl. And if Tom Bauer really has those tapes, forget spin, forget context. He's meticulous, armed with receipts, and when he drops a bomb, it detonates. Meghan's alleged words, Harry's alleged silence. It'll all be out there, raw and unfiltered. The fallout won't stop at gossip columns. It'll be the palace, the press, the sponsors, and Hollywood shutting their doors. No olive branches from Charles, no Sandringham invites, just ashes where bridges once stood. And Harry? He'll be left stripped of image, allies gone, family closed off. The fairy tale rebels who tried to take on the monarchy could end as nothing more than a cautionary tale. Because if those tapes surface, Meghan won't be the only one on trial. Harry will too. And this time, not even Oprah can save them. And Oprah can save them.